The Chicago Tech Crocodiles have the best all-time win percentage in college basketball history with a record of 1-0 as they try to keep that up in their home opener here at the Swamp. Quick start for their opponent, the St. Bonaventure Bonnies. Nice dunk by the big man, but here's Rashad Pickney answering with a slammer of his own. Take another look. St. Bonaventure got off to a 6-0 start. As here's Jordan with it. Justice Jordan with the short little pass. That one would be denied by the big man, Ronald Clemens, who finished with 6 blocks in this game. He would get the layup to go 10-4 as Rashad Pickney, shot clock cheese. Pair of big games for Pickney after struggling on opening game against Boise State. As here's Jordan, the floater, no good, rebounded by Logan. And that is going to be Logan with the and one. Nice play by the big man, Braden Logan. 13-7. Mahmoud Abdul-Wahad over to Walton Banks the second for 3. As that is the son of assistant coach Walton Banks. As here comes Mahmoud Abdul-Wahad. He gets the layup, making it a 4-point game. 16-12. Here's Watkins with it. He is denied by Clemens. However, Braden would just slam on Ronald Clemens right afterwards. Now it's 20-14. Jake Jackson over to Nate Brown in the corner. Solid pair of games for Mr. Brown, the young freshman. As Watkins, guarded by Brown with about 11 seconds left on the shot clock. Watkins turn around. Watkins fade away. Splash. 6-point lead now for the St. Bonaventure Bonnies as Parks is wide open in the paint. That's an easy dunk. 20-7-20. Here's Watkins over to Shamir Jackson. No good, but he would get the layup off his own offensive rebound. 31-20. Elijah Smith with it, and Smith would get the layup. He had a pair of crazy dunks against the Boise State Broncos. Rashad Pickney over to Marcus Vincenzo for 3, making it an 8-point game. Now a 10-point game, 35-25, is the junior Quantavious October. We'll get the and one, the former linebacker for Rhode Island, as Justice Jordan, coast to coast, hitting the mid-ranger danger, 39-29. Walton Banks the second over to Elijah Smith, his high school teammate who misses it, but October with the rebound and the putback. 39-31 now is your score as Jordan would lose it. That's Walton Banks with the steal, and Banks, stop, pop, and drop. He hits the 3, making it a 5-point game. The Crocs are coming back as now the senior Zachary Seals for 3, and Chicago Tech is now only down by 2. 50-48, Elijah Smith loses it. Here comes the Bonnies as Watkins over to Justice Jordan for 3, and it's good, making it 53-48. Now 53-50 is Watkins wide open from a land far, far away, doubling the Bonnie lead as it's 56-60. Watkins off of the inbound shot clock cheese, and St. Bonaventure is getting off to their nice 10-point lead that they had, even though the Crocs made a nice little comeback, now up by 16. Chicago Tech needs a bucket, and Rashad Pickney would do that. Part-time ball player, full-time bucket getter, as the Bonnies would say, well, you can do, I can do better, hitting a 3 of their own. Here's Jordan, denied at the rim by the big boy Ronald Clemens. We got to think of a good nickname for him. Brown misses, but Jake Jackson with the rebound. He's a very solid rebounder for a guard, and he gets that layup. Nice defense right there from Abdul-Wahad. However, St. Bonaventure would get the rebound, kick it out in the corner for 3. 74-57. Pickney, bang, bang, bang. That man does not know how to miss, as it's now a 14-point game. Nice layup from the Utah native Jake Jackson, related to Owen Hitstick Jackson, the Westlake linebacker, as Walton Banks wide open for 3. You know that one's going in the net. 74-65, now 76, as almost a nasty slammer by Jackson, and then Banks again for 3. Walton Banks really struggled in that opening game against Boise State, but he's having a phenomenal game here off the bench. Nice defense from Clemens, but St. Bonaventure gets the rebound, gets it to the top of the key for 3. 87-70, Clemens over to Vincenzo, over to Walton Banks, the second again, as he was 5 for 8 from the field, all of which came from 3. Here's Zachary Seals now as Chicago Tech trying to get a miracle comeback, 90-79 on an inbound. Now Rashad Pickney for 3. It's good, and the Crocs make it just an 8-point game. 90-82, about a minute to go. Parks in the corner, likely to ice it. It's now an 11-point lead. But Elijah Seals is not done yet. That man likes to glide as a very nice one-handed dunk. He didn't really dunk on that big man. He wanted nothing to do with that play. As nice board and nice and one for Elijah Smith, getting gritty with it. But it doesn't matter as the Bonnies win 97-88 in a very high-scoring affair. And then the next game, still at the Swamp here in Chicago, Illinois. This time it is against the South Dakota State Jackrabbits of the Summit League. As early on, Mahmoud Abdul-Wahad, who's getting his first career start instead of Marcus Vincenzo with the steal. And then Rashad Pickney, what a game he had. He hits for 3. Nice start for the Crocs, but here is Daniel George hitting a 3 of his own, making it a 2-point game. Now tied up at 7. Elijah Smith to Pickney from a land of far, far away is Rashad Pickney picking at this defense, 11-12. Ronald Clemens on the break. Over to Pickney again, who will hit the layup. Now 14-11. Nice and one for Lewis, as Nate Brown is the one who fouls Deshaun Lewis. Jackrabbits now up by 2, but Walton Banks, his 3 is off. October with the rebound of the putback, cleaning the glass. We are now tied up at 20, as Underwood is no good, but George gets the rebound and gets the putback, and Daniel George gives South Dakota State the lead. But Walton Banks, he wants to tie this game up. He would be unsuccessful, but Quantavious October at the buzzer would tie it up at 22. They will review if he got it off before the shot clock, and he clearly did, and obviously they would count that. So nice dunk for the Jackrabbits. 31-26 now your score, as Deshaun Lewis showing off the jelly inside. 35-26 now. South Dakota State looking good, but a big 3 from number 35, this senior, Zachary Seals. Here's Mahmoud Abdul-Wahad getting fancy inside. Doesn't put up some crazy box score numbers, but is a hard worker, gives 110% on the defensive end of the floor. Nice putback from Underwood, making it a 6-point game. Now a 4-point game. Elijah Smith trying to post up. He gets it to Pickney for 3. Nothing but net. 39-36. Elijah Smith with the steal. You know what's about to happen, baby. Elijah Smith with the and one. That's Underwood with the foul. And we're going to have to look at this one again as he slams on Underwood. Elijah Smith can just get up and fly. 41-39, Rashad Pickney blocked at the rim. Clemens with the rebound. Clemens, he would eventually get it, and this game is now tied up. Excellent play by Ronald Clemens, who finished with a double-double. First double-double in team history, 13-10. As it's 43-41. Nate Brown in the corner. Chi Tech up with a minute left in the half. And then Walton Banks, the second, makes it a 4-point game. Why not extend the lead a little bit? Jake Jackson, with 1.3 seconds left in the half, hits the layup. Jackson's only bucket in the game. As here's Daniel George for 3, cutting the lead in half. 50-53. Elijah Smith absolutely misses that one, but Smith would actually get a block on the other end, showing off that hustle, and then a dart down the court. What a pass over to Rashad Pickney, who hits the mid-range shot. 50-55, big three-pointer for the Jackrabbits as they need to get some momentum back. Ronald Clemens, no good. Elijah Smith with the rebound and the putback. He definitely can grab the boards, and then Pickney with a Damian Lillard-like bomb, and he drills it, green bean machine, and then Pickney again for 3. He finished with 28 points, an all-time team high. There's Nate Brown now, the freshman, 13 off the bench. That's his career high. And then Brown again at the buzzer, as he was heavily contested too, and is a 6-point game. Now a 4-point game with about 7 minutes to go, as that's going to be Myler Curry with the foul. Marcus Vincenzo gets the and one. Here's Curry from the top of the key. Splash. Big bucket for South Dakota State. Daniel George with it. George over to Underwood in the corner, tied game. South Dakota State is not leaving this one without a fight. But then Walton banks the second and one. And the Crocodiles will take the lead 81-84. Nice defense from Chicago Tech. Nothing but clear air for Elijah Smith. And obviously, he's going to throw it down as Smith, one hand with a ferocious jam. And then Smith for three. He's not a great three-point shooter, so obviously he misses it. But Ronald Clemens with the board. It's an 11-point game. George, no good. Nice putback by Underwood, however. 84-93. Mahmoud Abdul-Wahad to Seals, to Pickney, to seal it. Bang, bang, bang. 84-96, and Chicago Tech would win 98-87. All three of the Crocs games have been high scoring, and in that introduction, I told you that this team was very good offensively and very bad defensively, but 2-1.
I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. Loving plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation.
Yo, hey, man!